Now this is quite a good topic, and it's how to be likable. And before I go into this, first thing you have to accept is that some people just aren't going to like you. You can only change the way people perceive you by the way you act to a degree. You can't fully change yourself to get everyone to like you, because there's people out there genuinely that you just won't get along with, and you shouldn't try to please them anyway. So when I say how to be more likable, I mean it more in a sense of attracting people who you'd want to attract, and not putting people off who you know would actually benefit you. So generally these are like conversational things, just do's and don'ts. They're quite simple, but everyone does these things by accident, and it will end up getting more people to not like you than you need. So one thing is generally don't close down any possibilities. Don't say things in conversations that narrow options down between you and that person. Keep things a bit vague. Don't be really like specific for no reason. Just chill and things will happen how they want to happen. But if you narrow things down and you like put everything in little boxes, everything has to be labelled, everything has to be like directed, then you end up in that exact situation, and there might have been another outcome that would have been better, because otherwise you're just closing down any possibilities of good outcomes for you. This is a big thing, and I feel like this is what makes a lot of people sort of seem unlikable, and it's talking about like opinions. It sounds funny because it's the opposite on social media. If you talk about your opinions and you're opinionated, people are interested, and that just comes from people wanting to hear what you want to hear. Some people agree, some people don't. But in real life, the same thing applies, as in some people do and some people don't. So the more you talk about your opinions and the more disagreeable you come off, they're going to be like, oh, I don't like this person. And instantly in their mind, especially if this is the first time that you're meeting them, they're going to sort of have this opinion of you that isn't going to change. The first impressions are very hard to change. They're going to lock this opinion in their head that you're a bit weird, that they don't agree with stuff you agree on, that you guys don't get along. Even if you would have got along, just off a few opinions that you've put forth, they've now said in their brain, no, me and this person don't get along. And that's going to make things a lot harder for you to come off as a likable person to them. Now this one you can kind of relate to the last one. But if you want to come off as likable, listen more than you speak. I struggle with this a lot, especially when I'm comfortable with people. I just yap. I don't stop talking, which is bad, because then you end up saying stuff that they don't agree with, or giving them ideas about yourself that might not even be true, but just the way you said it didn't come off how you wanted to say it. So generally, when you're talking to someone, ask questions. People love talking about themselves. You can easily have a 10 or 20 minute conversation with someone who's like socially confident, and they'll just talk about themselves to you. And when that person leaves you, they're not going to leave you saying, oh, I can't remember that guy. They're going to leave you remembering, oh, that guy was really cool. For some reason, that conversation felt really fluid, even though the reality is they were just talking to basically themselves the whole time. So get really good at asking people questions, listening, and sort of picking up on those interests. One way to get people to like you is if someone says something in a conversation, remember it, and then a few weeks later or whatever, a few days later, the next time you meet them, just bring it up or show that you remember what they've said before. Say it's something that they really like. You bring it up or you do something that shows them that you remember it, and they're going to be like, wow, this person actually listened and took an interest in me. People really don't realize, if someone shows an interest in you, if someone talks to you a lot or gives you like just lots of attention, you automatically sort of like them. Like automatically in your brain, without saying anything, you're like, oh wow, this person's actually really cool. Even if they've done the same things as everyone else, they've just given you more attention and shown that they were interested in you more, you're going to like them more. So be interested in other people, ask them questions, listen, don't be too opinionated, don't put people off, and try to keep your options open. All of these three things, they feed into each other. Don't be really opinionated and put people off you instantly. That's going to shut down options for you. You're probably no longer going to be friends with this person. The possibility of friendship is now probably gone, because they in their mind have just said, nope, me and this person don't get along. And once that's there, it's very hard to get rid of that sort of blockade. The truth is, if you talk to someone and all you do is talk about yourself for 15 minutes, they're not going to want to talk to you again. That to them is not interesting conversation. For you, it might have felt great, but hopefully after the fact you'll realise, like, yeah, that whole conversation, I was just talking to myself. Why didn't I actually have a conversation with them? So these things, they sound very counterproductive, but socially, they're really going to help you just come off as a likable, nice person. Just remember, some people don't like you. Some people, you cannot change their opinion of you. They're just going to have a bad opinion of you for no reason. Some people will look at you and for no reason, well, it might be a deep reason, but they just won't like you instantly. They don't even need to talk to you. They won't like you. Don't try and change those people's opinions. Let them be. Ignore them. It doesn't matter. They're not going to change, so just be yourself. Ignore them completely.